I'm pleased to introduce Tristan Heimann, our Director of Residential Rentals. Over the last 10 years, Tristan has personally represented more luxury Chicago renters than anyone in the business. He's on it 24/7, working directly with renters as they make one of the most important financial decisions they'll make in a given year, deciding on their next home. Today, Tristan is interviewing one of his multi-season clients, Megan Murata. Tristan and Megan have worked together 4 consecutive seasons, and that's just one example to simply say, this dude knows his shit. Tristan, it's all you.
Aw, thanks, Chris, for those kind words. I appreciate that. So, well, hello and welcome to the Luxury Renter Perspective. I am Tristan Heimann, Director of Residential Rentals at Luxury Living Chicago Realty, and I am joined right here with one of my VIP clients, Megan Murata. So, hello, Megan.
Hi.
So conceptually, as we've learned thus far in this tutorial, this Zoom, we know who the luxury renters are from Mark's insights and Aaron's data, but now we have, obviously, Megan's here in the flesh, so call it the more interactive portion of this event. Yay! As the virtual hand claps go for all the people muted. So let's talk about the experience in finding an apartment during a pandemic, how it was affected and it's different from its previous years through your eyes. So Megan, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you living now? And how many times have you worked with luxury living?
Like Tristan said, good afternoon. My name is Megan Murata. I currently live at Gallery on Wells, and I have lived in Chicago for 4 years, and I have worked with Tristan and luxury living for 4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years. So I guess that makes you my VIIPs.
4 eyes.
Love it. 4 eyes. I love it. So Megan, since this is our fourth luxury apartment that I helped you find in Chicago, what is the biggest difference that you've noticed between finding an apartment pre-pandemic versus one during the pandemic?
Pre-pandemic, obviously, Tristan would pack my day full of seeing places in person, which is what I prefer. But post-pandemic, rightfully so, there were extra safety precautions. So instead of doing the full day tour, we did a little bit of legwork electronically and then kind of narrowed things down from there to see I think we saw 2 places in person. So.
Yep. And when did you end up moving?
I moved the first weekend of November. I had the opportunity, thankfully, with my last building, which was the Artist, that I was able to extend my lease. I think they offered like 1, 3, or 6 month. And I was working in Michigan, like many people who left the city during stay at home. So I opted for a 6 month just because I didn't want to move during the pandemic. And I wanted to be in a better position to see a place in person, since that's like my number one thing when I'm looking at a place. So I did a 6 month and then ultimately moved first weekend of November, that really ridiculous hot weekend in November.
Yeah. So in terms of, like, again, as Mark said, trying to time the market out, like, GameStop, you actually literally did time it out perfectly. So like November was the ultimate high point for you as a renter, and the low point for the market. And yeah, I am still hearing it to this day, even earlier, just a few hours ago, with new prospects hearing how their friends got 3 months free rent, 2 months free, all the free TVs and all that stuff. But obviously, as we learned, that time is kind of coming towards an end. So so I guess, I know you said you considered about renewing for that 6 months. After that 6 months, did you think about continuously staying at the Artist, or why did you ultimately decide to move this year?
I did think about extending for a full 12 month. I think they offered me 2 free months to extend, but I think with everybody during the pandemic, there were 2 things that I was looking for in a new spot, which was, room to work from home, since I'm 100% now work from home. And then also having outdoor space that's right at my access. Now I have 2 balconies, and before I didn't really have that outdoor space. We had the shared outdoor space, which was nice, but I wanted to be able to just like enjoy my cup of coffee just standing outside for a bit if I wanted to. And so we checked both boxes with my new spot. So
yeah, I think I remember, obviously the outdoor space was one of your biggest must-haves, and still across this pandemic, everyone has been just begging for that private outdoor space,
Right.
and it really is tried true. And you're kind of an anomaly in the sense that you have a 1-bedroom literally with 2 balconies.
Right. Yeah.
Trivia quiz: who out there knows that building, that layout? Well, obviously Megan said it, so boy, spoiler alert. But anyways, if you know that layout, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very special one. So, so I guess talk to me about the overall kind of process, like how when we first got connected 4 years ago. Tell us maybe more about that process, how we got connected.
Sure. Yeah. So 4 years ago, I had an opportunity to move to Chicago and visited a bunch of times, but never, I didn't have a bunch of friends here. So didn't really have an outlet for, who to reach out to in terms of finding a spot. And, with, getting a new job, I had, I think, 3 weeks to find a spot. And I did a quick Google search, obviously everyone does. And it was daunting. There was so much information out there. And I just didn't know what was a good spot. I needed some inside knowledge. And I went on Yelp, love Yelp. And I don't even know what I put in my search, but luxury living popped up. I put in a query on the site. And that evening, Tristan called me and did kind of his initial introduction and got all of my must-haves. And again, I really thought that this was just like a shot in the dark. I thought it was a scam, and turns out it was not. Tristan is still with me today, 4 years, probably will be next year when I move. So that was my experience. It was great to have somebody do all the legwork for me and take the stress out of an already stressful situation of relocating to a city.
Oh, well, thank you, Megan.
Of course.
Yeah. So you bring up a kind of a good point. I know you kind of jokingly said, is this a scam? Like,
right.
Is this too good to be true? And it's kind of funny that you kind of say that, because obviously all the rental markets across the country are so different. Like I spoke to literally 2 clients today from New York City relocating to Chicago. And I was like, take your experience, literally what you know, and literally throw it out the window. Chicago is completely different. I am here to help. And yeah, it's like, so pretty much in a nutshell, yes, we are indeed a free service to you as to renters, in which we are compensated for efforts like a traditional real estate transaction where the seller pays the broker fees. In this case, it's the landlord's buildings or most of the people on this Zoom conference. Thanks, guys. But overall, the apartment hunting process can be very, very overwhelming for a lot of individuals. And the consultative level of service that we provide with the clients, the understanding the market, the relationships we build with the clients, but ultimately too with the on-site leasing teams at each building, can really make a very efficient, fun process for everyone involved, and stress-free. Yay! So now, Megan, our process obviously over the past year was quite different compared to, say, my other kind of new clients. Just in general, because we have that established history. So I'll just kind of give the viewers just a little bit of what it would be typically like on a day of just, you inquired literally right now, hi, I'm needing an apartment, and I give you a call. So I'll be really kind of brief, because obviously these calls can take forever, but but essentially, as I tell my clients, it really just kind of comes down to 3 main ingredients: full transparency, good communication, and information. When you have all these 3 things kind of involved, it really, like I said, just kind of makes that very easy, fun, stress-free, and efficient process for everyone involved. And ultimately, what I like to do, and we kind of start on that information layer. So this COVID process, we kind of switched and altered, like, as you said, the first time was like, literally, I'm coming to Chicago, and we literally spent the full day of tours. This year, it's been more of a digital upfront information overload, and then just kind of sifting through. So I tell my clients, it's like, bring it, like, we're just going to start on a big macro scale. Every building has its own personality and vibe, just like every individual is a snowflake. And we're just going to quickly hone in on the detailed specifics. Once we kind of do that, I typically schedule video calls, just like what we're doing right now with my clients. Understand get their feedback, overall thoughts and findings, questions they have, of course, because they always have questions. And literally, because I've been doing this for 10 years, we just go line by line of each of the properties, provide that hyper-focused level of intangible knowledge to help make these prospects really knowledgeable and just more comfortable too. Like, you know, as we know, the majority of the year was all virtual as it was. So being able to have that relationship rapport is very, very monumental. And you know, once that kind of happens towards the later part where buildings started opening up, we would set up the virtual tours of the exact apartments. And then of those top 5, maybe see like the top 1, 2, or 3 options. So, but anyways, let's get back to you, Megan, because you're the star of the
Oh, wow, I feel so special.
so what is the most important part to you this year for your apartment search? So
well, yeah, my lease ends end of March. I think that kind of the same thing as this year is just, well, I guess end of last year is just balcony, outdoor space, nice amenities. I mean, I moved from a building that didn't have a pool. And the first 2 years I did have a pool, and then the third I didn't. So coming back to, you know, not much to do during COVID, all my friends at pools, and I'm just sitting here inside, you know, that was important. So probably an amenities building, outdoor space that's in my, you know, close to my apartment, and then space for work from home. So
yeah,
pretty much the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Just the high-rise lifestyle.
Just a new space to make my own. That's also another one.
Yeah. So I guess a good question next would be, obviously, since with our relationship, you've experienced both pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Right.
How would you alter the apartment finding process kind of in a post-COVID world?
Post-COVID, I would welcome the opportunity to go back to just kind of seeing a bunch of places. I love to look at buildings. I love to see the space. And so for me, it would just be a jam-packed day, take a day off work and see, I don't know, 8 to 10 places and make a decision at the 11th hour, maybe, I don't know.
Let's have some fun.
Right, exactly. For me, it is fun. So
it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I know it can be very stressful for a lot, but like, you know, this is just a fun, exciting new chapter in life that you get to be a part of. And especially as Erin kind of mentioned early on, like these are ultra luxury apartments in the most central neighborhoods in the city. So you're doing something right. You know, it's going to be a good process to do all right. Yeah. But I guess in terms of working with LLCR and myself, what has been your greatest benefit? And you know, I'm not gonna be offended, but would you ever try to find an apartment on your own in the future?
Oh, probably not. I find extreme benefit. Obviously, Tristan's track record with me is 4 for 4. So obviously I see an extreme benefit with working with him. I think as the years go by, it becomes easier to work. It becomes fun to get together and see places, and for you to do all the legwork and have relationships with the buildings, and, you know, price out everything, and you kind of, you know the types of places I want to see. That's kind of invaluable to me. So I probably wouldn't, Tristan.
Oh, thank you. So I know you kind of briefed up on it a little bit earlier in this interview, but what's it like living in a luxury apartment during the pandemic?
It's been okay. I don't think that, before I would kind of participate in building events, virtual events, I haven't really been participating in, only because my day to day is virtual and I kind of just need a break from screen time. I mean, and we don't do a ton here, but the virtual stuff I'm not really doing. But I do follow a lot on Instagram, and they seem like other buildings are giving out little giveaways and trying to make things fun, which is good. But
yep. So looking on into now, obviously this seminar has been kind of more of like what's looking onto the future, brighter, light, warmer weather. What are you most excited about within your building currently once we kind of get back to normal?
Sure. Well, I'm lucky enough to be on the amenities floor, which some maybe people think would be a con. It's such a pro for me. The grills are right there, the pool's right there. So just enjoying the outdoor space, and this summer will be key for me. So looking forward to it. And today has been gorgeous. So it's been a nice little taste to what's to come, hopefully. I hope.
I hope so too. Yeah, I'm right there with you with the grill aspect on things. So, and on that literal warm note, Megan, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you.
And the audience on Zoom. Yes, thank you. And yeah, without further ado, I shall give it back to Chris. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you so much, Tristan. That insight it's simply invaluable in really understanding the whole process. And Megan, just so you know, I know you spent a lot of time with Tristan over the past 4 years, but we do operate the full brokerage suite. So even if you get out of the rental industry, he's probably going to be knocking on your door to help you along the way.
Good to know.